Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So yesterday, as I was doing the tutorial, I came across a very strange instance. And it got me thinking. Aaron's mind works really strangely, and I thought, what happens if you land in a tree? And usually when I do this sort of basic testing, I don't show you guys, I just want to experiment around with it and see exactly what happens. So what we're going to be doing today is placing or dropping some of the pods on trees just to see what would happen. Now this has only ever happened to me once, and the result of it, if we can replicate what happened to me, is extremely crazy. So we're just going to try dropping it down, and we're going to see if it magnetizes to it. So in a lot of cases, it just breaks the tree like that. This is the tree that I've had the most luck with it actually locking as it comes into land. There we go. This is the crazy thing. There it is, launching both our pod and the tree into orbit. So it's almost become like a tree-powered craft. See, it's that particular tree. It just has some really weird characteristics. Of course, that only lasts until the tree dissolves and then the pod comes hurtling back down to the ground. So let's have a look for some more of them sort of trees of that scale. I think this might be one as well. So it seems like if you drop it in this particular area of the branch, it seems to attach. There we go. There we go. Replicating results. Oh, there's two attached to it now. You can see just how crazy it is. If you would land in one of these trees and you shot back up into space, your survival would be very short, of course, because getting your ship back would be close to impossible. Let's try it again. So it looks like it's definitely this sort of tree with this sort of bark type arm attached to it. Let's see if that one's one of them. Yeah, so we've got quite a few of these in this area, and it seems if it attaches around maybe this area. There we go. Oh, there's nothing like weaponizing a tree and turning it into some sort of assault pod. Look at that one. That one's doing a full circle. If you were aboard there, you'd be very, very dizzy at this point in time. So this is just something that I quickly want to show you. It is probably something that'll get patched or worked on. But you can see once the pod actually comes out of that tree, it just keeps going. It's got like a mind of its own until it comes back towards the ground. The parachute reactivates. I mean, I don't think there's any way of weaponizing trees. As you know, I like to try to turn everything into some sort of weapon. But there's no way of actually controlling the results of the landing gear. So it's definitely down to when the landing gear locks to that surface, it decides to go. Because if I lock it to anywhere else but the central hub of the tree, or it could be due to the object clipping with the actual tree's mesh sort of box. I'm not too sure, but I thought it was worthwhile sharing with you anyway. So we've had the fun bit. We've tried dropping a few, but can you actually land in a tree? Yes, you can. So I set this one up before with a little ladder going up to the top of it. The only few issues are with this is you're going to have to be pretty precise in your piloting. But as you can see, as I actually land it into this tree position, it'll just drop down, and it's actually stuck in the tree now, not in the actual thing. So if I just turn my power off, you'll see power off, it'll actually get itself stuck into the tree there. So let's re-enable our power and try landing on a different one. So it is possible to build a tree house. The thing that you don't want to do though is use your magnetic landing gears and try attaching yourself to a tree, because that's where everything goes crazy. So there's another empty tree over here. You can see these landers absolutely everywhere from my testing before. But if we move it over into this particular tree, this one should be able to support us again, but we don't want to magnetize our landing gears, so we're just plopping ourselves into the actual web of the tree. And there we go. We've found ourselves in a pretty awkward angle, but from this we could build a platform, level ourselves off, and we could have a treehouse sort of start base if we wanted to. So let's just bring ourselves out of that tree and let's try landing on one of these bigger ones. So these are the ones that probably look like the most homeliest type tree houses. So with this tree it's a little bit different because you can see the mesh is getting us stuck. So if I disengage myself here, I should fall back into the tree, but in a lot of cases I fall out. So look, there we go. We built ourselves another really simple tree house. So all I do now with this is make sure the pod's balanced, make sure it's on the angle that you want, and then you can get yourself a lovely little ladder out and start working your tree house into this design. So you've got yourself like a survival tree house with your survival pod in. I mean, it might keep you safe from dogs and bears and creatures if they ever decide to put the dogs back into a big capacity. And then it's just about lining your ladder up. The best way of doing it is coming around the back, I've noticed here. Coming around the back, line your ladder up, get yourself a platform, catwalk, or even a solar panel. So for this instance, let's just build a solar panel. Flip the solar panel or the catwalk upside down on the ladder, so it clicks into the back of it like so. And there you go. We've got ourselves a little platform. So let's just give that a little bit of a test out. So yeah, we could land in a tree if we use some thrust, but landing in a tree by dropping down, and fingers crossed our landing gears do not lock. So there we go. We're in our little sort of tree survival pod. So to wrap this up, it is very possible to build yourself a simple little treehouse base like this. Obviously, there's some drawbacks to this as well. You're going to have to go up your ladder every time. The ladder's not particularly fast, but you could simply climb up here, access your craft, build a little bit down below, or even start crafting your treehouse out of this area. The only thing that I'll leave to note with the treehouses is there is a collision mesh with the actual tree itself, so you'd have to build a little bit further out. But some cool ideas. So you can land and you can build in a tree, but fingers crossed you don't crash land into one and your landing gear's locked, or you are going to go out into orbit with that tree. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.